Love the bot, we are blasted with delight. Hello and welcome. We are playing The Final Prize is Soup. I'm Lynx, of course, in case you don't know. Let us continue this crazy story of sort of afterlife and see if we can get back to living or reincarnate without remember anything. Or maybe something else. Mimi sat in front of me. Lovely, despite the tears that dotted the edge of her eyes. I love you. I love you, Mimi. My heart dropped. My voice, but not my mouth. Not right now, at least. The moment that had been haunting me for weeks. I love you, Mimi. I love you so much. How many times did they say those words that day? I never actually said it out loud, did I? Otherwise, she wouldn't be making that face. Or maybe I did, and perhaps I was just remembering incorrectly. Lulu. I love you, Mimi, but this can't go on. I'm breaking up with you. Huh. Wait. You say you love her, but you break up with her. Huh. The words weighed heavily on me. Not me then. Me right now. I was so certain back then. The fact that Mimi didn't respond, didn't fight back, only made Lulu more confident. She stared suddenly at Lulu, tears at the edge of her eyes growing larger as her lips trembled, completely blindsided by this sudden breakup. You're insecure, clingy, depending on me for everything. I mean, the first two parts, not that terrible. Clingy especially, not that terrible. You're supposed to be smart, yet you can't think of for yourself. Mimi still didn't respond, but she gripped the edge of her sleeve so hard her hands were trembling. You can't order food, you can't make your own decisions, you can't even put leftovers in the microwave when you're hungry. What? You don't have a license? I mean, to be fair, some people should not have license. Just saying. Also, totally something that should be done, I would say, when it comes to getting a license overall. In order to get one, you should have to drive or be examined in every type of weather condition. The amount of people that can't drive while it's snowing, it's ridiculous. Just a little snow and people are already like gear 1 under 20. What the freak? What are you doing on the road if you're driving like that? Why is this game making me go on around like this now? Anyway, and you hate public transport? Understandable, absolutely understandable. So I have to drive you everywhere. Yo, I would not have a problem with that at all. I guess I like driving overall, so yeah. You need me to walk through the dishwasher instructions every time? And you whine to me about work in the middle of the day? The moment a task isn't obvious, I've got my own job to do, I can't always be helping you out. Enough. Just because she wasn't responding, that didn't give you the right to barrage her with these insults. Look at her, lol. Mimi's bottom lip was white with how hard she was biting onto it. The way she shook was indicative of how much she wanted to let go and sob, yet not a single sob slipped past those lips. Nothing to say? You're right. The Lulu in my memory let out a sigh, disappointed. Perhaps she wanted Mimi to fight back. I'm supposed to be your girlfriend, not your mom. You need to grow up and be yourself. The pink in that apartment didn't deserve to be suffocated. And I was letting her remain a child. So I thought such a self-righteous things irritated that she would rely on me when I forced her to feel like I was the one who was right and made the decision to break up with her. But Lulu, what the hell? You absolute asshole. Stop, I didn't want to see this anymore. This was the moment that our relationship of many years ended. This was when I hurt her. I clutched my aching heart and held back painful, hot tears that threatened to spill out of my eyes from regret that even if we had broken up, I had been so cruel. A spark of light started at my feet, tendrils of flames slithering in the frame of this memory. The corners of this memory began to burn, crumbling like pepper-lit flame. The glow of orange was a godsend for removing this memory from my mind. The voices in the memory petered out. Not that I remember what remained to talk about, perhaps the logistics of wrenching someone out of my life. I kicked at the memory, wishing to be in that pitch-black darkness again instead. Huh? Embers from the burning edges flickered and flew through the air. When did the fire get this high? Oh, we might actually find out how she died. A chill ran down my spine as I saw the flames grow, their bright red consuming everything. Then, the fire rushed towards me. I shut my eyes and braced myself, feeling a deep fear that shouldn't have been within my gut. What the? I know, but I was so scared of fire. However, the pain never came. Huh? I came to with a gasp, the yellows and oranges of fire burning out to a windowless building with stained walls. Glass. A door with fog glass stood before me under the hum of fluorescent lights. Goal is to reach the rooftop. Eleven's voice, or should I say Eleven's voice, came from above once more, magically filling the whole building despite not a single speaker inside. Good luck! Hearing Eleven's ending statement, I realized that I didn't hear anything that she had explained. I missed the rules while I had been daydreaming, if that could be called a daydream. I mentally scolded myself, but didn't dwell on it. I had no time to do so. I caught the last part. The goal was to reach the rooftop! If this was anything like the other games, there was likely a time limit attached to it. I had to hurry and finish Yangshu. Whipping my head around, I realized that there were no contestants nearby. Chances were that we were all placed in random locations again. Maybe someone is already on the rooftop. I decided to spend some time looking for Yangshu. I had missed the first part of the instructions, but I could trust her to give me the details. Probably. Is this like a museum or... more like hotel, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I ran through the hallways and opened room doors, but didn't see Yangshu anywhere. Finally, I came to a stop in front of an elevator. I would love to find Yangshu, but we're all going to the same place. If I go up, I'm about to run into her. My mind made up. I pressed the button up on the elevator. I wouldn't be so sure about that. The elevator doors opened immediately as for it being waiting on the floor. Upon entering the elevator, I found only 2 valid floors buttons on the operational panel. I don't think they used a building with only 2 floors for this trial. I grumbled as the doors closed and the metal box jerked upwards. Okay. Well, that's dark. That's very dark. I was greeted by the gloomy atmosphere of the 2nd floor. Definitely a hotel. No windows, hallways extending from both sides with numerous rooms attached to it. And as I strolled through the hallways opening doors, I found that some rooms led to more hallways. So this is a maze of hallways, huh? I should have known I can't rely on physics in these trials. Based on that theory, I returned to the lobby of the elevator I was in and scratched my nose in the paint of the elevator frame. It would save me the time of checking an elevator that only goes downwards. I returned to the hallway I was in and walked to its end. Dead end. Time to pick another path through one of the doors. Whoa, The quota for the 2nd floor has been met before reaching the 1st floor time limit. The first floor is now off limits and ghosts will begin feeding momentarily. Say what? How nice of her to repeat the rules. Well, I can dilly-dally then. I better find another elevator or some stairs. I wandered through the hallways blindly. I had no way of telling whether I was going the right way. I was passing this trial going to simply by blind luck. I hoped not. I never liked relying on luck. I was planned for my successes. Luck was just a backup. But I didn't really have any chance in this trial. I mean, luck is kinda useful for even if you plan something. And sadly the plans go down. Yeah. I didn't really have any chances in this trial. Hallway after hallway, door after door. Then my feet screeched to a stop at an open door. Delicate yellow eyes widened as they caught me. Mine. Hello! Young Shu! I stopped myself from hugging her, but I couldn't stop smile on my face. Just like that, the ink that was eating away at my stomach simmered down to nothing. She averted her eyes, but I saw the tiny smile of relief grace her lips as well. I'm relieved to see you. Me too! She was clutching her phone, but placed it in her pocket as soon as she noticed me eyeing it. I was just using it for comfort. Well, I'm here now. I think I'm better comfort. Yay! I rechecked this room and hallway. I didn't find any stairs. I shook my head. Nothing this way either. I came up by elevator, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, there is another in this room. Might as well continue from there. Sounds like a plan. We walked through the hallway after hallway, room after room together. Side by side, shoulders virally touching. I could reach out and grab her hand. I could give her the comfort that we both needed, but her hands were in her pockets, one lightly thumping the edges of her phone, and mine were curled into fists. Be mature, Hailu. Be mature. We broke up because it was better for her. You say that, but I don't think that's true. I think that's an excuse you're telling yourself. Rekindling a flame after dying during a life or death game wasn't the right place for it. But still, how difficult would it be to just reach out, to pull at her sleeve and ask for her hand? Was it the same as before? Were her hands all soft skin and manicured nails? Was the shape of her hand still a perfect fit for my own fingers? I mentally scolded myself. Oh! Her exclamation startled me, but I was thankful for that distraction. There's an elevator! She hurried to press the button, but I grabbed her wrist and pulled her back. I recognized the mark I left on it. Like before, the elevator opened its doors immediately. No, this elevator is... an elevator! A man showed between us and rushed into the elevator. Wait, that elevator is... Don't even think about coming in. This is my elevator, not yours. No, that doesn't matter. Of course it matters, didn't you listen to the rules? Not really. I'm not letting any stupid girls take up the quota for the next floor. Especially not cheaters like you. Cheaters? He pointed an accusing finger at Yangshu and she shrunk against me. I stepped in front of her automatically to shield her. You're the ones with the phone. You've been talking with the mastermind behind these games. What? Was she talking about 11? Didn't she talk with everyone? Don't try to play dumb. You're the only one who brought the phone to the afterlife. Behind me, I felt Yangshu bury her head in my jacket. I'm sorry. It's not her fault that she was given her phone. How does that even give us an advantage? There is no signal here. He bared his teeth in frustration. He knew I hit the nail on the head. What good could a phone for us do for us in the dev game? I don't care, you're not getting on. No, that's not it. That elevator won't bring you to the next floor. Bullshit. Lying must be part of your strategy too, isn't it? What? No, I'm telling the... I reached out to grab the doors, but it was late. My fingers barely reached the metal when the elevator doors shut closed. The elevator emitted a whirring sound as it descended, and as it occupant realized the consequences of his actions. Told ya. Yangshu shuddered against me and I turned to cover her ears in a hug. The 7-segment light above the elevator frame changed from 2 to 1. Despite wanting to block it out, my ears still focused on the sounds of flesh being torn from bones. After a few minutes of silence, Yangshu relaxed against me and I loosened my hold on her. She continued to shudder against me and the little puffs of her breath against my collarbone told me she was crying. I rubbed her back gently, trying somehow to provide her a bit of comfort. Hailu! You're crying! A warm hand reached up to my eyes, delicately wiping the tears from the corners. I'm fine, I said, despite the number of times she had to swipe her soft fingers over the bottom of my eyelashes. Are you alright? Yeah! Then, let's get going. Yeah! I took her hand. That was an abrupt stop to the music. I took her hand and started leading her to the hallways and doors again. I can trust Yangshu. Yangshu still relies on me. I'm not gonna say no. We are not going with relying. No. Because we rely on her as well. Come on. I can trust her, yes. Comfort went 2 ways, didn't it? Perhaps it was true that she'd never make it through the trials without me, but it was also true I'd never make it through the trials without her. Exactly. Even with the first trial, she was there when you were fighting the monster, right? First episode, by the way. On the second trial as well, when you were in the pond and someone decided, yeah, let's grab you by the freaking leg. We're underwater. She was there. Come on. You would not make it without her, that's true. There was something about Yangshu that completed me. And it was my desert protector support her, like I originally thought. No, I couldn't be more wrong. She was her own person. She was never suffocated in my arms. I was just too arrogant to realize it, huh? I laughed bitterly at myself. All that wasted time and tears. It's something funny? Just myself. I like it when you tell jokes. But when they're just you, I think you're amazing. Hey. I think you're amazing too, Yangshu. You are an incredibly reliable girl. We walked silently for several twists and turns when Yangshu tugged at my hand to stop. Hello! She pointed at the dark spot in the ceiling of the corner we just rounded. Squinting in the dim light, I made out the bottom half of a ladder, colored just enough to barely blend into the wall. Wow. So you hit it like that. Not nice. I completely missed it! I reached out to pull the ladder fully down. Good fight, Yangshu. She smiled at me, a genuine, unafraid one, and my heart skipped a beat. I couldn't stop myself from smiling back. Here, you go first. I reached out to take her hand again, pulling her over the ladder until I could practically hug her as I held the ladder steady for her to climb. Once Yangshu pulled herself up to the 3rd floor, I followed suit. On the 3rd floor, we found ourselves in a room with 2 doors. Oh boy. Yangshu was already looking around in interest as I joined her. To be honest, I'm surprised we as Hailu, are not asking about the rules, supposed. Because, I mean, it's not what, we know much. We know that there is a quota for a floor. So if someone doesn't make it in that quota, I guess they are, unalived fully, even though they are already unalived. But even more, in a way. But what other rules are there? Yangshu was already looking around in interest as I joined her. It's like a goo jar. A what? What's that? A what? Which one of her historical dramas was this term from? Goo
jar. It's a poisonous curse. You put poisonous creatures together in a jar and seal it. Then over time they'll eat each other until only one is left. The victor supposedly has the poison equivalent to all the creatures the jar started with.
Ooh. Is that really a thing? Okay, that's interesting. I want to know if that's true. Goo jar. Has that been tested? Goo or Jinkan, a venom-based poison associated with cultures of South China, particularly Nanyue. The traditional preparation of goo poison involved sealing several venomous creatures, centipede, snake, scorpion, inside a closed container where they devoured one another and allegedly concentrated their toxins into a single survivor, whose body would be fed up by a larva until consumed. The last surviving larva held a complex poison. Goo was used in black magic. Practices such as manipulating partners, creating diseases, causing death. According to the Chinese folklore, a goo spirit could transform into various animals, typically a worm, caterpillar, snake, frog, dog, or pig. I mean, I don't know where the dog really comes from, given that... I'm surprised that the dog... Whatever. That can transform into a dog, but why? I mean... Dogs don't really have poison in them. Unless, you know, there is, I guess, one certain situation. One certain situation, I guess. Rabies, right? I guess. If you dropped a dog with a rabies into that, but... I don't know if... Whatever. Okay, let's not get into it. I cross my arms and shit and I wave uneasily, trying to get rid of the chill that settled at the end of my spine. Really? I mean, I found it super interesting. It was just a fairy tale, ridiculous fiction. Yet I was here participating in a dev game to return to life. That's so creepy. Why would anyone do that? You know, ask the Chinese. Young Shu shrugged.
People used to believe in all sorts of nonsense.
They still do. They still do.
The spirit that resulted from the ritual was capable of all kinds of malevolent acts. The type that's popular in dramas these days are the mother-child goo worms.
What?
And things like heart goo, mind control parasites.
Ugh. So it was a popular trope, really?
It's historical black magic attributed to the Miao people from over a millennium ago. Who knows if it's real or not for...
She gave much more detail than I expected. So how do we like this goo jar? It's not like we're eating each other. Makes sense. Everyone has their own sin. And with each floor, you know, someone still disappears. So it's not like you are eating someone out. It's the place that's eating those people. So basically there is the beginning poison, which gets all the other poisons into itself from devouring people. I get it now.
No, but the way we seem to be sacrificing one another.
I couldn't argue with that. I mean, technically we are not sacrificing anyone. Let's face it. It's more like we are trying to survive ourselves. This is not sacrificing someone. Not in a way that I'm thinking, at least. Like, not in a way that we are trying to make some kind of ritual. By the way, now that I think about it, I wonder if everyone getting devoured by that thing will end up being the soup. Ugh. Anyway, I couldn't argue with that. Not with that man's scream still ringing in the back of my head. Whatever, he was an asshole. Let's not think too much about this. Besides, we'll both win and return to life. The question is, can there be two winners? Neither of us will become the goo jar spirit. We'll do this together. or will we? Ooh. More wandering through the hallways and doors. I began to feel queasy from frustration. At least the interior decorator was nice enough to leave the occasional furniture or bloody stain on the walls of this floor to help determine if we'd walked in a large circle. Just as I was about to realize my frustrations in the form of the most offensive insults towards the king of the 11th court's mother, I opened the door into a hallway with a map framed behind a glass bulletin. Okay. I have no idea what's written on this map, but I'm totally taking a freaking... I know our girl here will take a photo herself. I'm making a cutout with a proper tool that we have on a PC. Us being in this building reminds me a little bit of that game we called Sense. That was good. It was not a visual novel also. Anyway.
It's a map of the next 3 floors!
3? How is it a map? What? What do you mean next 3 floors? Where? What? Whatever. There was even a friendly "You're here" star for easy reference. I don't see it.
Yangshu, you still have your phone, right?
Sorry, Yangshu, you still have your phone, right? Let's take a few pictures to make our way through the next floors quickly.
Right!
Maybe that man was right. Maybe having a phone was an advantage. Yeah. I mean, then again, you could just break into that thing and break the thing, basically, and take them up with you. No, forget it. That man was dead. Besides, I would use any advantage I could get. Correct. Correct. I looked over at Yangshu, who was busy taking careful close-ups of the maps. I want to see her life. You know what? Seeing a map in-game and it being mentioned always reminds me of a little situation from my middle school where we were out in a sort of woods trying to find stuff around, and it was all marked on the map, and certain girls decided to take the lead, took the map first and so on, and could not lead us anywhere. Like, they couldn't read a map at all. That was absolutely nuts. It's surprised, but you know, it's surprising maybe, but now, if you were given like a blank map, not like the one in Google or whatever, right? But an actual map, I bet a lot of people would not be able to use it. I mean, obviously, like, people who play games probably would not have a problem, right? We have the second sense for that stuff. Anyway, the maps truly were a godsend. We found the stairs to the next floor in less than 20 minutes.
Nice!
What's wrong?
It's nothing!
I slowed to a stop. Yangshu nearly walked past me.
It's not nothing, I can tell.
I guess I did not have to take a freaking screenshot in a way. We barely spent any time apart. I could see it in the way she shifted her eyes, of a slight quirk of her left eyebrow, and the way she pulled at her pink hair strands.
Don't you think this floor looks different?
Well, we are on a different floor.
Yeah, but it's like the walls are getting darker.
Are they? I swept my eyes across the room. The first floor was already plenty dark with its flickering lights and lack of windows, but it was true. This floor did look darker, like something was growing on the walls, aging them in not a yellow tint but a moody tar. Let's just hurry to the next floor. Since Yangshu pointed it out, I could release it once we got to the next floor. I'm not sure myself, to be honest. Not only did the walls feel darker, the edges and frames of doors and objects felt uneven. Maybe? At the ceiling, I mean, I would say maybe a bit off, but the 90-degree turn of a hallway was bent, but when we got close, it had realigned itself. It's alive! Instead, the door 3 feet away looked jagged. This was making me uneasy. Still, we followed the pictures of the maps in Yangshu's photo gallery.
I think we turn here.
That's the tent, against the end of the hallway.
Oh yeah, give me a sec.
Let me see. She gave me the phone without hesitation. I swapped through the maps. It was a good thing she took so many pictures. Nothing was blurry when I zoomed in. Ah, whoops. I clicked out of the photo viewer back in the gallery. Hey! Familiar smiles looked back at me through the grid of thumbnails. Mimi and Lulu holding the camera out to take a selfie. I mean, I'm not surprised. I swiped again and found them in a cherished hug in front of the sunset that a stranger took for them. The next swipe showed a kiss on the cheek in front of the toy store with its newly decorated Halloween windows. My heart leapt to my throat. The bubbly feeling of walking down the street with me was as we went shopping on a cozy autumn afternoon.
Lulu!
Did I really let all of that go? Did I really forget about all of that? Cherry-picked the rotten ones and threw away a perfectly good relationship.
Yeah, you apparently did. Lulu!
She didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve her.
Hello?
I snapped out of my reverie and found Yangshu looking at me with a worried frown.
Is something wrong?
No, sorry. I just clicked the back button. Hold on. Let me find the right picture again. Here we are. We just made a wrong turn in the room before. We'll be fine.
Okay.
I gave her back her phone and she walked ahead of me. I have to make sure she lives. Yeah. It was the 7th floor.
That's it for the maps.
Yeah. I imagine we are still very far ahead of everyone else though. I tell off as the wall tilted and I caught myself on the wall. Woohoo!
Hailu!
She reached out to steady me, but I waved her off. I could pull myself together, probably. Ugh, I just have a headache.
Oh, let's take it slowly then.
No, we need to make it to the top floor. Ah, didn't expect that. That hurt. Before I actually could respond, a buzzer rang and 11's voice interrupted from above.
The quota for the 6th floor has been met before reaching the 5th floor time limit.
Damn. What's the quota?
The 5th floor is now off limits and ghosts will begin feeding momentarily.
Wow.
See, we need to hurry. Don't worry about me.
I've survived worse. Things like maybe you didn't. Walked through the door after doors and hallway after hallway on the 7th floor. Our pace truly was much slower without the map. We had to check every route individually. As the seconds ticked by, I couldn't prevent anxiety from eating through my brain. How many more floors were there? Would we have enough time to clear the next floors? We reached another room with a single door. No, seriously, how many floors are there? Holy... Before I could reach the doorknob, it swung open, narrowly missing my nose. A man was on the other side of the door and I tensed.
Sorry about that.
Yangshu wilted beside me. The man was carrying a bat, but he didn't seem antagonistic.
You don't want to go this way. I just checked every door in the past 5 rooms. The previous room had 2 other doors.
Oh, I'll take one of them.
Weong.
He disappeared in the previous room.
A metal bat?
There are probably weapons littered throughout the trial again. At least this guy was non-confrontal. Remembering what Yangshu said about goo jars made me a little nervous. I wanted to read that. Let's cheat.
Yangshu, about what you said before.
Boy. Did he trigger an explosion himself? I was knocked off my feet and the room went sideways as it trembled and pieces of drywall flew in every direction. By some miracle, I managed to duck and cover my head in time to avoid the worst of it.
What's going on?
Footsteps and screaming alternated with the ringing in my ears. My body was heavy as I struggled to push myself up from the ground. There was fire. A fire had started due to the room that just exploded. My legs weren't listening to me. I couldn't get them to pick myself up. My head. The pound in my head was getting worse. The smoke aggravated the pain like grey knives stabbing through my temple. There was fire. The panic was only secondary in my brain. A part of me was hiding, terrified, screaming. There was fire. There was fire! Get away! The scorching heat everywhere. The sear of freshly burned flesh, pain melting from skin to bone. Run! Run! Don't let any of that touch you! You had to go! I was choking on more than just smoke. My lungs seized on me. The fear ran deep into my bones, paralyzing me to the spot. My brain kept saying, leave! Run! But my brain didn't understand. Yes, I had to get away, but my head hurt and my legs wouldn't move like I wanted them to.
Lou! Lou!
Someone was pulling at my arm, pulling it away from my head. Stop! Stop, it hurt! There was fire!
Lou!
I forced myself to take a couple of steps, swayed in the arms of the other person.
Hailu!
Then finally, the heat was bearable. I could breathe. I collapsed into the arms of the person who put me out.
Hailu!
Shook my shoulders. Yangshu. Another bang. What? Fire. There was fire. Suffocation. Shrapnel. Collapsing foundation. Screams of terror.
Hailu!
My eyes snapped open. Yangshu's grip was tight on my shoulders, her arms trembling enough to shake me as she did. Yangshu, what? There was still debris and the smell of smoke in the air, but we clearly weren't sitting in the center of a firestorm. The damage of whatever happened didn't reach this far. My pounding heart slowed down, my breathing fell back to a normal pace, and thankfully the ringing in my ears stopped.
There was an explosion.
You pulled me out. She nodded and I pulled myself into a sitting position in front of her. How far did she drag me? It could have been easy to bring both of us to a place of relative safety. An explosion within a building could have easily caused a cave-in and for us to fall to one of the lower floors. She could have easily left me behind to save herself. Of course she didn't, come on. Instead she dragged my useless body along with her. Thank you. Ow! Yo, can you like stop doing this out of nowhere? A familiar buzzing sound rang through the building and made both of us jump. 11.
The quota for the A floor has been met before reaching the 7th floor time limit.
Uh-oh.
The 7th floor is now off limits and ghosts will begin feeding momentarily.
Uh-oh. 7th floor. 7th floor! Panic shoot through my body as I recalled the floor we were on.
Aren't we on the 7th floor?
It depends. What do you mean exactly by 7th floor? Because it really depends on the point of view. Like for me, 7th floor is the 8th level. Because we start 0. the base is 0? What if for you it's the incorrect way and the base is 1? Yeah, that would mean we are higher. Anyway, Yangshu nodded solemnly, her fingers tightening around my arm. She was doing her best to school her expression into something calm, but I didn't miss the way her bottom lip trembled. Okay, so you're telling me that somehow, people who were just blasting through the doors are making it to the higher floor faster than us who have the maps? That's kind of crazy. But, well, okay. I opened my mouth to say something reassuring, but my brain didn't catch up with my mouth and no noise came out. It said as if on cue, an aggravated gargle sounded from the next room. Shit, we have to go! I struggled to my feet, my head still throbbing. With Yangshu's help, I managed to get up and start down the hallway.
Hailu, are you alright?
I'm sorry, Yangshu, I promised I'm okay. Maybe. I really wasn't. But I couldn't let her wait around any longer. She already saved my life. I couldn't let her lose any more precious time. Let's get going. The apology was at the tip of my tongue, but now wasn't the time. If I had time to feel guilty about putting her in the situation, I had time to get her out of it. Well, you came out of nowhere. The door beside me broke down with a crunch, wood splintering everywhere as a monster crawled out its way out. Behind it, I could see at least 5 more. Oh boy. As if one wasn't bad enough, there was no way I could fight a pack of them. Run! I grabbed Yangshu's hand and we ran down the hallway. You know what? That one is creepier than the previous one. It's funny. Like, the bulkier they are, the less creepy they are. A monster pounced at Yangshu, but I pulled her away just in time. It landed on the table with decorative vase instead, causing it to split into a million pieces on the floor. Come on! We turned the corner and thankfully found the staircase leading up. Wait, but... can we get there?
Yangshu!
I'm right behind you! Ah! My stomach lurched and it turned so fast the ends of my ponytail whipped my cheek. A monster clutched on the end of her jacket and Yangshu grabbed onto the railing before it could pull her off her feet. Yangshu! She kicked it once, but it was enough to get the monster to let go. My eyes searched the area for the weapon, but the only thing in the stairway with us was the railing, and that was attached firmly to the walls.
No!
Yangshu whipped the monster across the face as hard as she could. Well, that did the trick. The monster let go just as the remains of her weapon flew across the air onto the landing of the 8th floor. Her phone screen cracked and the metal bent in an odd shape, crashed onto the floor and flaked more plastic pieces on the ground. Her eyes widened and her feet stilled. Yangshu, hurry! There were more monsters behind her. I ran back and pulled her with me past the last step onto the landing. The monster, still growling and rolling at us, stopped at the second to last step. It was as though there was a wall between us. It's okay, we're here! I mean, she sure has a swing in her head, in her hands then. She should, you know, think about getting into boxing. I turned to find Yangshu sinking into the ground, the remains of her phone before her. It was in a state of disrepair. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I think it is repairable. For I'm not a specialist. The screen flashed in a multitude of black and white lights a couple of times before de-energizing, probably forever. Perhaps the battery could be recovered, but the phone that had been slammed that hardened the monster surely had transistors. Oh, so she threw it. Had transistors and the other components damaged and ripped out of place. The memory in silicon states no longer retained the information that was once stored within it. She picked up the vase and hugged those eyes staring listlessly at the ground.
Yeah.
Yangshu. I knelt by her side, patting her gently on the back as she trembled occasionally. Mostly just looked at the ground. Her breathing was steady, but heavy, and for each breath took tremendous effort. Shit, what do I do? What do I say?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't apologize. Yangshu wiped at her eyes, but the tears still spilled over. With her nose running, she shook more in my arms now.
I'm so sorry. It's just stupid for my time.
It's not stupid. I know that phone is important to you. It was okay to grieve. To be fair, it's not the phone that was important to her. It was all the memories that was in a way stored in that phone, right? The smallest things that gave us comfort. It was okay to grieve, because even if it was a useless, negligible part of our lives, we still gave a part of ourselves to it. Yangshu was sobbing now, bawling her eyes out as I held her against me. I ran my fingers along her back, trying my best to give her comfort. Did this comfort her? Was this okay to do? As long as Yangshu didn't move away, I'd do this for her all night. Monsters growling in our ears or not.
It held all of our memories.
Huh?
Everything ahead of us. It was all I had left. You said goodbye to me and then I died.
Hey?
It's all I had left.
She sobbed into my arms, and I didn't understand the meaning of that phone. She had loved it dearly when we were alive, so I didn't question why it appeared to her in death. But I didn't know the reason why she loved it so much. I think I solved that the moment it was out.
All of you had left of us.
Sorry, all you had left of us, huh? I continued to run my hand down her back, cradling her as she cried. The guilt was a bitter taste to swallow. Yangshu, I'll get you a new phone. And we'll make more memories together. That got her attention. She put herself off me, staring at me with wide, hopeful eyes.
Really?
Really? When we're alive again, we can make more memories together. Shuken? Shuken? Oh. Okay, that's a good one. Shuken. I'm sorry. Oh. Okay. Oh. I did not see that coming. Shaken. Shaken from her stupor. Shuken. Oh. Don't let it get to you whenever laughing for it. It's fun, you guys. Oh, it happens to everyone. I'm able to help her stand up, and we start down a hallway of the 8th floor. Shuken. I managed to get Yangshu to move with me, but she was still quiet, only looking at her feet as we walked. The broken phone remained in her pocket. If it was so easy to cheer people up, I suppose no one in the world would be sad. However, walking in silence began to make me uneasy. Yangshu, don't you think that everyone can pass this last trial together? We just so that we can still make it through an off-limit floor alive. If we help each other, can't we all survive? Like the two of us, I won't say, but I held back. I don't think humans are capable of kindness that requires... Sorry.
I don't think that humans are capable of the kindness that requires.
Oh, true. I narrowed my eyes. It's not really my problem anyways. Yes, the only ones I needed to care about seeing through this game was... Yangshu and I. Or even just Yangshu. That would be more of an adequate... Oh, crowbars.
Hey?
There is 2, so you take 1. Haha. Yeah. crowbars, good weapons. They have the potential. I held the crowbar out her, which she thankfully took after a moment of hesitation. Dude, you don't know. Crowbars have the potential for being epic weapons. They didn't look right in her delicate hands. She didn't belong here, but...
Come on, Yangshu, we're almost here. Just keep fighting a little longer.
I still don't know how many floors there are.
Okay.
She was still listless. Could be that my words earlier weren't enough.
Do you doubt me, Yangshu? Hey! About your phone, don't think about it anymore, okay?
So she was still thinking about her phone. What could I say? Go out with me. Nothing. Freaking go out with me, girl! She didn't trust my words earlier, then I'd better make them clear.
Yangshu, are you worried about what I said? Do you think I'd go back on our words and drift apart, never making memories again? Well...
She looked forlornly at the broken phone in her hand. I faced her. Our eyes met, but she quickly looked away. No, that wouldn't do. Softly I held my hand up to her face, guiding her back until we looked eyes again.
Yangshu, I promise we'll make new and better memories again. If, when we get out of this alive, will you go out with me again, Yangshu?
She stumbled over her words, taking far too long with an answer. You say, I take that as a yes then. My cheeks heated up. I'm glad that the lighting was dim. Even if she was averting her eyes, the less chance of her seeing my embarrassment, the better. Don't you dare interrupt us. Oh.
I hope there are many more floors after this. Yeah! Come on, it's just a little...
I was cut off as I spied a black object coming towards my head from the corner of my eye. The object crashed in the wall beside me with a smash. I had moved my head back just in time for a hammer to swing in the wall where I was standing. It crushed the sheetrock, a round stump where the tool buried itself. I took a large breath of air as my brain registered what had nearly happened.
Stay back!
Good effects as such. I stayed in front of Yangshu, daring the man before us. He grinned as he pulled his hammer free of the wall.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Injuring my window, of course. I saw the night floor is the roof! The roof. My eyes widened at the realization that we were so close to our goal. Just a few more steps and we would be done with these games. However, the man that stood between us didn't seem all too friendly. I gritted my teeth. Of course, there would be our one final fight before the end. I don't need to outrace anyone if I just kill you all here. The hammer swung towards me again, and I swung my crowbar just in time to parry his hit. That's right. Use the weapon with a better potential. Stop! He took another swing at me, letting out a maniacal laugh as he did so. I stepped back to dodge, moving down in the stairway. No way! The only way to get away from him safely was to remain on the 8th floor. Another hit, another step back. The hits kept coming, that was all I could do to keep up parrying against it. Within minutes, we were halfway down the flight of stairs. Was there another way to the 9th floor? Based on how the floor quotas kept shrinking, probably not. I slipped against the last step and tripped backwards, landing my butt on the 8th floor. The crowbar flew out of my hands. Seriously? I got you now! Someone might come in clutch now. He raised the hammer and covered my head with my arms to brace for the blow, but it never came. A body dropped beside me on the 8th floor. Let's go. She comes in clutch again. Yangshu stood about 5 steps above me, gripping her metal crowbar so tightly her knuckles were white. Beside me, the man lay down face down unconscious, but still taking shallow breaths. Standing, I walked up to Yangshu and gently pried the crowbar out of her hands. It fell to the ground with a clatter, rolling step by step until the 8th floor. That's not a good thing. You might need it. It's okay. I pulled her into a hug just as the tears started bubbling over. He's still alive. Her shoulders sucked with relief, and I spent a couple of minutes patting her back softly. When she finally stopped shaking, she took my hand and we ascended the last few steps onto the 9th floor, the rooftop.
The quota for the rooftop has been met before reaching the 8th floor time limit. The 8th floor is now off limits and ghosts begin feeding momentarily. Congratulations.
The diamond sky stretched endlessly above us. I had never seen a sight like this before. Well, we played A Sky Full of Stars, so we've seen plenty of that. By the way, very good game, A Sky Full of Stars. We've completed it fully, all the routes. Go check it out. There were no buildings, no light pollution. Oh, perfection. The fact that you mentioned that, awesome. Nothing in the horizon blocked the Milky Way as it flowed easily above us. Was this sight real? That is the question. How come I never saw it while I was alive? Because you literally mentioned that earlier. The light pollution. Perhaps some things were only private to the dead. The living had so much already.
Oh, this is beautiful!
I tore my eyes from the glittering blue hues above us to look at Yangshu. Her eyes were still glued to the sky. Despite her eyelashes still being wet, the smile on her face was genuine. This sky paled against her. The living had so much already, but that didn't mean the dead was allowed to keep beauty to itself. Her hand was warm against mine, fingers curled perfectly around each other's as we stood here, there. She watched the sky, but I was too distracted to watch with her. I loved her. I loved her so much! Go on. In the back of my mind, a memory bloomed. It pressed so far that it had hurt. Because I loved Yangshu. So it hurted so much when she... When what? It was crowded day in the mall, perhaps more so than a normal weekend. Maybe it was some holiday. I forgot to look at my calendar. It didn't matter, I worked odd hours and took time off on even stranger days.
Sorry I'm late!
It's alright.
Thanks for being willing to meet with me!
Of course, I promised. Just a shopping trip. With the girl I broke up with a month ago. But it couldn't be put off any longer. Yangshu's coworker had requested some specialty products from a store we used to frequent together. Which was why I had a special club card that allowed us into the store. Which was why I had to meet up with her to go shopping. It was okay. After all, it'd been a month. Even if we walked with a meter of space between us. Even if I kept catching her glancing at me every few minutes. It was okay. Was it? I breathed a sigh of relief as we stepped out of the store. The worst was over. Forced myself to look away, keeping cautious of how close we should walk together. Submerging the urge to reach out and take her hand. I couldn't help her hold her head out of her face anymore. It didn't matter. Her eyes were glued to the phone most of the time, anyways. She then looked up when I asked questions to make sure we got what her coworker wanted. I let out another brief of her. Was I the only stupid one? She smelled of the strawberry shampoo. Nice. I got for us just last month because she wanted to try a new brand. Oh. It was a good choice. I agree. It was for the best. I kept telling myself. It was for the best. Any other opinion would make me break down in tears. Well, it was good meeting up with you. I wonder if the two of them, died at the same time.
Could I take up a bit more of your time?
What for?
There's just a few more things I want to get from the other stores. Since you're here with me, why don't we go together?
She was squeezing her phone in her hands, thumb absent-mindedly turning on to pretend to look at the time every 2 seconds. Alright. I was making a mistake.
Thank you!
Relax, it's no big deal. I didn't have any other plans for the rest of the day.
Okay, I just want to get a few more things from...
Her demeanor changed completely. She was suddenly excited, nervous, energy completely gone. I wondered what was going through her mind. Was she planning something?
Oh, could you wait a bit? I need to stop by the bathroom.
Yeah, that's fine. It's right there.
Hello?
I'll wait here for you. She nodded and handed me the bags. There is really so many. Gunshots rang out and people started screaming.
Everybody heads up, this is a...
terrorist attack. I couldn't believe it. This didn't happen in real life. And of course, no one listened to the man with the gun. Everyone started screaming and running away in fear, which is understandable. And it's a mall. You know what? I think... if you are not very close, it might be possible to run away. I'm completely guessing. It wasn't until someone got shot and blood had sprayed all across the floor that people started kneeling down fearfully with their hands over their heads. Thankfully, it was just one man versus the mob of police officers that arrived. With their hands full, I quickly stood and took charge. Everyone, this isn't safe. Let's get out of it. The police take care of them. With everyone still dazed and confused, it was easy to simply climb on the railings and point towards the closest exit. Oh, fuck. Oh no. You mean she was left behind? Oh no. Oh, freak. Finally, the rest of the people in the area had left the building. On the far ends of the mall, people were still being evacuated, but they were far enough that they were practically gawkers rather than hostages.
Thank you, miss. You were a great help.
Oh, I am just doing my civic duty.
An exemplary citizen. Don't worry, the police have this under control. Death to this government! We'll all be judged by the courts of hell!
Huh? The word flashed in hot red. I couldn't hear. All I had was high-pitched frequency. Smoke and dust filled the air. I coughed as I struggled for a breath of fresh air. What happened? What happened? There had been a flash. What did the terrorist throw? A bomb? Was the grenade? Screams erupted around me as the world reoriented itself. Pain shot through my right arm and leg. My entire right side burned. White bone and red blood stared back at me where my right hand used to be. What? That's not the type of scream that you would hear for sure. I let out a scream at the side of my hand. I screamed until smoke clogged up my throat and I fell to the ground, coughing. Out. I need to get out of here. Everything hurt so bad. Trying to put any pressure on my right leg hurt so bad. Help! I collapsed back to the ground, blood pooling from my missing hand and from a nano cut in my leg. I couldn't move. No. It was hot, too hot. My skin was melting off my fingers. It charred in from my eyes. I couldn't push myself off the ground.
Help. Help. Lulu.
Oh, sorry. Young Shu's voice cut to the flames before I saw her running through them. Eyes frantically looking for me as her cotton clothing caught on fire. Mimi, no! Not you! I struggled toward her, gasping for air as she crumpled beside me in pain, despite trying to put out the fire that burned her sleeves and back.
Lulu! Lulu!
She was crying. Why was she crying for me? You idiot. The streaks of tears that rolled down my face weren't from pain anymore. At least not from any physical pain. I watched as Yangshu's skin blistered and bubbled, her lungs gasping for air as the flames closed in on us. Why? Why did it have to be you? Not you. You shouldn't have been here. Whoa! I snapped awake with a gasp, almost jumping out of the chair in shock. Instead, the chair rocked underneath me and I nearly tipped it over and landed on my back.
Hailu!
My heart rate decelerated to a more acceptable pace as I realized with relief that Yangshu sat in another chair beside me. Now that I was calm, I could take in my surroundings. We were in the same room as when I first arrived. In the same chair, I'm sure. But a courtroom had been set up. Shadowy figure stood on the balcony of the second floor. A bored woman in red armor stared down at us with distaste on her lips. Below her, at a less decorated table in the center front of the room, 11 sat with a small smile on her face. She looked proud of us. Perhaps she was on our side after all.
Yangshu?
How should I word this?
You...
Why did you come into the fire? Yangshu's brows furrowed in confusion.
Fire?
I was about to elaborate when her eyes widened in understanding. She looked down at her hands, which twiddled nervously now that she couldn't play with her phone.
You just think about when I died?
Yeah, I finally remembered. I'm sorry it took so long.
Oh, how many you looked?
It was reasonable for my brain to attempt to flush that memory down the toilet.
You were a good distance away from the blast.
Sorry. You were a good distance away from the blast. You would have lived if you didn't run into the fire.
I wasn't thinking. I know, Hailu. I'm stupid and useless. But when I saw you there, I just couldn't think. And after running, there was no way out.
Yangshu, I'm interrupted by the soft hit of a gavel. I look forward to find 11 with her hands still on a rectangular wooden slab. Defendants, welcome to the 11th court. Congratulations on completing the game of life. At these words, the audience on the balcony started to laugh and applauded. Wah, 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 wah. I didn't see or hear anything amusing. And thus you have earned the right to a review of your sins and actions. Part of me felt like the order was reversed. After the torture of the game of life, it felt like we're already dropped in hell. 11 cleared her throat. I'll now review reactions throughout the past 3 trials. Honestly, it was rather torturous to sit through a summary of our near-death experiences in the past few days. Which was an odd emotion to process when I'm already dead. 11 smiled at us. As the judge of the 11th court, I declare Qian Hailu and Chen Yangshu not guilty! A silence permeated through the room. Without 11's voice, we could hear a pin drop. Looking up, I saw the king looking down at us over her nose. Beside her, a couple of monsters nodded to themselves, almost smiling at 11's declaration as they glanced with mocking apathy at their supposed lord. From their seat proximity to the king's throne, I wondered if they were her close officers. The king gritted her teeth, but leaned back in her seat without a word. Then finally the court of monsters roared back to life. On the first floor, monsters started standing from their seats, grumbling insults in protest.
How dare, not guilty. It's the attending cup. That girl's sure to be punishing the king is mad.
What if the other courts nothing does?
The 11th court is such a previous place. What is she thinking? Upsetting a balance with this verdict?
quiet! Who gave you the right to speak? Do you have doubts about my work and research? She slammed her hand against the stack of books on the side of her desk. If so, feel free to check my work. The court was silenced again. Lazy fucks. So even vengeful ghosts fear paperwork. Ah. Ylven stood with a sweep of her robes and stepped in front of her desk to face us. Congratulations once again. Now, what will you choose? Mank poo soup or returning to life? Undo my Dave. Please? I want to go back to being alive? Ylven shook her head. And you? Young Shrew headed outward and I felt my heart drop as I looked at her. She looked at Ylven, then down her hands. So I was the only one who wanted to go back to life. Together again. Young Shrew closed her eyes and took a deep breath before turning to look at me. Having been caught staring, I felt the heat rise to my cheeks and I casted my eyes downwards. When I looked at her face again, she was smiling. My face heated up further. Somewhere above, I heard a ghost laugh and whisper about my tomato face. I don't know what is that squiggle. Her voice was tiny, I didn't hear her. But I felt her words perfectly. I love you!
I wish to undo my death as well. Please let me return to my life.
Tch. A pair of fools fit for each other.
Yeah! She's cold, but there was no malice in her words. 11 pointed at something behind us and we both turned to see what it was. A door had appeared on the far wall, and as I looked back to the front, I realized with mild amusement that it was directly opposite the door to the first game.
Go! Get out of here and do not return to the 11th court.
With another flip of her ropes, she returned to her seat at the table and busied herself with papers once more. I looked at Yangshu once more and offered her my hand as I stood. She smiled at me and took it, pulling herself up to walk with me hand in hand toward the exit. The door handle was cool against my pole, but I didn't care. I was too busy looking at Yangshu. And the twinkle in her eyes, the bounce of each curl of her hair, and the curve of her lips. Even the glow of afternoon sunshine couldn't tear my eyes away from her. Instead, it brightened her features and made her all the more radiant. Let's go.
Yeah!
Whew, I opened my eyes to familiar scene and familiar backache from sleeping on the couch. Ay, 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 cha, 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 cha.
My apartment living room was dim in the mid-afternoon light. The lights were off and the only windows were in the kitchen. There was only a soft streak of golden light that hit the door. I let out a groan as I sat up, doubling over to massage my temples. Dude, I would love to have a standing desk now as well. What happened? The memories of the last few days flashed through my mind in misaligned bursts. Chair, scalpel, full rest, thief, house, key, mace, pipes, cord. Yangshu! Was it all a dream? It was so real, all the hair-raising moments, the near brushes with death, and well, the death itself. I died. But between all of that, I had reunited with the person I missed the most. I even made up with her. A wave laid itself on my heart. That was definitely a dream. But part of me still wanted to hold on to some hope that it wasn't. That I truly reconciled with Yangshu, that I was given a second chance after the biggest mistake of my life. I opened the door to Yangshu's old room, but unlike my dream, only blank walls stared back at me. Uh-oh. Disappointment sank itself into my stomach and I took a deep breath. It truly was too much to hope for, wasn't it? Yangshu was gone. Taken every last bit of her from this apartment, and I had been the one to force her to do so. Yeah, as much as I would love to. That arm for the mic will not go up far enough to make it. So I don't have to sit constantly while recording. I know, I just tried. I had to. Yangshu was gone. I just read that. Only in my dreams would she come back here. Or maybe she'll be right out the entrance right now. Could I still be dreaming? If Yangshu was no longer here, this was certainly a nightmare. I should check the front door to confirm the rules of physics. The door opened in the familiar corridor of the other doors, which led to apartments that mirrored mine. Okay, come on, this is still inside of your own apartment. I had never been so disappointed in the lack of Black Void. I nearly slammed the door shut as I retreated back into my apartment. The proof was piling up that it really was only a dream. Then go to her. Returned to the couch, I took out my phone and found that it was the same day as my death from my dream. I did a quick search through the news for a terrorist attack on the wall. Finding it done, I dropped my phone on the couch. It didn't feel right to use my phone again after being so disconnected from, well, life for so long. Yangshu. I wondered how she was doing. If that was all a dream, then she should be alive and well, right? It gave me some relief. Even if it was just a dream that we reunited after the death and reconciled. At least it also meant that it was a dream where she died in such a horrible way. All because of me too. I might never recover from this. That might be a bit dramatic. I should get a drink to clear my head. My thoughts were interrupted by a soft knocking sound from the door. I furrowed my eyebrows. Was I expecting someone today? It was a day off for me, but I didn't remember making any plans. I'll be right there. I opened the door again, wondering who it could be. Yangshu. The heat rose to my face. I mean, I wasn't expecting you. Can I help you with anything? I averted my eyes. It was so difficult to look at her all of a sudden. Perhaps it was because I had dreamt about her, or perhaps it was because I was thinking so much about her. Either way, the longer we stood there, the more aware I was of how red my face must be turning. How about you come in? I can make some tea.
Hailu, I bought a new phone!
She flashed the phone with... It's the same. The phone first smiled before placing it in her pocket once more. It didn't look any different from the one I remembered. Oh, do you have a new number?
No.
Not surprised about that. I actually have never changed my phone number. It's not. It's the same one since the very beginning. No, I'm not going to reveal it. But yeah, it's kinda nuts.
But I do have a promise.
A promise? With who?
You! Your promise will make new and better memories. We're both alive! So, will you go out with me again?
Let's go. Yangshu barely finished her question when I reached out to grab her by the neck, putting her in for a kiss I had missed for well over a month. Yangshu made a small noise of surprise and she stumbled a couple of steps backwards, but then she reached up to wrap her arms around my neck and she was kissing me back. At some point I pulled her into the apartment and locked the door behind her. This girl in my arms. Yeah, of course I will. She smiled at me, bright and warm, and I pulled her in again for another kiss. Forever with her wouldn't be enough. I loved her. Yo, what the hell? We are hot! Let's go! I loved her so much.
Yangshu, I love you. I love you too, Hailu.
Not even death would keep me away from her again.
Kawaii.
The main character was hot as well. Let's go. Skip end credits. No. We are not skipping the end credits. I might tune out if I won't be saying anything, but we are not skipping the end credits, ever. But I will look at itch.io right now as well. Let's not forget, this game got the second place in Spooktober Visual Novel Jam 2023! What was the first game, by the way? Cut in Arms. Let's see. Results. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Halloween themed? No. Logline? Story? No. Music? Nope. Voice acting? Okay, definitely not. Sound effects? No. Character design? Accessibility. Oh! Okay, so accessibility. What does this mean? What? Yeah. Okay, so this game was second when it comes to accessibility. I have no clue what that exactly means. By the way, there were 210 entries overall. Whoa. So you lost to Infinite Stars, whatever that is. Well, whatever. What a gem of a game. You know, no surprise that I picked it up when I ran into it on itch. That's for sure. For Noki. That's the death, by the way. I recognize one game already from you because I had it actually from itch downloaded. But then I also ran into it on Steam and downloaded it there, which caused me to delete it when it comes to the itch download, yes. We'll play this other game eventually as well, for sure. I don't know when that will happen, given that I'm not playing much of Steam games lately. We really dived deep into itch, very deep. Anyway, that was super interesting. So we basically, as me and all of you watching, we play as Hailu. We wake up dead, so we are basically waking up in another world. We have no memory. Run into ex-girlfriend. Somehow blast through all the stages. Where, let's face it, in all of the stages, that girlfriend that we supposedly was for the lack of a better word, supposedly was called useless. Was coming in clutch in really the most important moments, let's face it. That is a fact. First stage, she dealt with the monster, basically. One of them. Stage 2. Saved from drowning. Stage 3. Used the weapon of the great potential, that is the crowbar on the guy that attacked the two of them. She was the key to basically succeeding. And then, finally found out, I kind of realized a little earlier what was the cause of death for Hailu. Because there was that image of fire and so on, and she mentioned the fire, so I was like, you know what, that probably is that. And eventually we got the full blast from the past, exactly what happened there. Technically, I would say the most damage she got from the explosion. And then it was the fire that would continue everything, but yeah. And then turns out the girlfriend that was the ex-girlfriend decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to save her, and... Well... I mean, I understand why she would run into the fire still, if that was the loved one over there. Definitely, I kind of understand that. Okay, I mean, we've covered it. That was really good. I'm absolutely satisfied myself with that ending. But, that's right, there is a but, ladies and gentlemen. The game has 2 major endings. So, I'm sending you to itch.io, okay? The link to the game is in the description. Go and get that other ending yourself. I bet it has to do something with 11, to be honest, that second ending. I'll find out on my own. Because even today, to be honest. I'll walk the dog. I will render what's supposed to be rendered today for YouTube, for the upload. And while it's rendering, I will try to get the other ending. Yeah, it has to be done by age 16. This was a really good game as well. This was a very, very good game. You know what? I'm surprised it's not higher in the ranks in other categories. Oh, by the way, Spooktober was sponsored by, like, I would say a big name when it comes to visual novel world, at least. So just USA. Results, accessibility. Let's see other stuff for the final prize is soup. User interface design, 8th place. I don't know, man. I would give it higher rank. You would need to have something crazy if you didn't rank this one higher. I think this design is absolutely wonderful overall. Oh, ending gallery, Yangshu ending, and there is absolutely all the bad endings locked. I mean, we were on a perfect run here. Basically, except the CGs are missing. She's definitely... 11 is the second ending, it has to be her. Okay, let's see what else. Overall, 25th place. Oh, I just totally closed that. Oh my god. I totally closed that freaking page somehow. Overall, on 25th. Actually, you know what? I should look... I think I had this one downloaded, but I deleted it. Yeah, oh yeah, I had this downloaded, but I deleted it because it's also on Steam. That's right. That's what I'm actually doing as well. If something... Okay, this one Okay, when in overall rank, I have the 10th game on PC. We'll see if it will make it to YouTube for Red Zero. Music 26, game page design 31, logline 40, sound effects 43. I don't know, I think that was good. Voice acting 40, right. Can you even cut it to voice acting if you are not voice acted? Game graphics and logo design 48. I mean, you look at the screen now and you think, wow, that should be higher. Story 50. How is the story only 50? Out of 210 entries. Okay, that's ridiculous. Halloween themed 74. Yeah, it was spooky themed, but maybe not Halloween. Character designs 81. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to say the titles, but I'm gonna say that one game being before the final prize is soup when it comes to story, one game being in front, Doesn't make sense. One game we played, by the way. I'll leave it to your imagination what this game might have been. I guess Red Zero being in front, it would be alright actually. Oh, I want to play this one. I have it actually already. Okay, so 2 games that we played somehow made it in front of the final prizes soup when it comes to story ranking. One of them, which title I mentioned, maybe makes sense. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Red Zero was pretty, like, well built as well, to be honest. And the game, one game I have on PC already. I mean, I can even say it's Bury the Hatchet. We'll probably be playing that. Oh, there are 1, 2, 3 games exactly on 50th place. Okay. Anywho, I thoroughly enjoyed myself playing this little game. Hope you guys and not guys enjoyed going through the game with me. I'll ask you to like the video if you did. That's super appreciated. I will also ask to subscribe if you haven't by now, as we are blasting through all of the Spooktober games. And it's not just that, to be fair. There are some here and there additions of other games as well. But yeah, we need to go through Spooktober. And then we'll see what's next. So yeah, come on, jump into the channel as well. Subscribe. And have a look at what's more to come. Also, tell me if you've played the game yourself, as I asked you to get the other ending. Okay? Okay. You can tell me in the comments, obviously. That's super appreciated. I would like to know that, okay? With that being said, hope you all have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next game, coming out probably tomorrow. Bye-bye.